Hey, so I am James Fefes. I work at Recharge as a senior staff engineer. The best thing about Dapr is the component based approach. So for us, that's allowed us to vet different technologies without having to overhaul our entire stack and also enabled local development um, across all of engineering. Yeah, so we found Dapr because the main problem we were having was trying to manage hundreds of Google Cloud serverless functions. And we were hitting cost concerns and we were hitting rate limits within Google. And so we needed to move all that into Kubernetes. And by using Dapr, we were able to keep all of our existing business logic and all of our wiring with Google Cloud Pub Sub, and then leverage Dapr as the way for us to get into Kubernetes without overhauling any of that. We literally couldn't do this with GCP. Like GCP doesn't provide us the tools to do this with GCP. So a great learning moment for us was getting deep into some of the Google Cloud code. We found that there were some settings that we needed access to that didn't exist in the component when we first started. And so realizing how excited the Dapr team was to help us with that open source contribution that we made in Dapr 114 and getting all of the testing done in order to roll that out as quickly as possible was huge and definitely gave us a lot of confidence going forward with our partnership in Dapr. Would I use Dapr again? Oh, definitely. At Recharge, we've even gone far enough that in our custom GitLab, we have a Dapr template. So not only would we use it, but we actually expect engineers, if they're writing event-driven code, they start with the Dapr template, which has everything they need to connect to the components we already use, to deploy into Kubernetes, to develop locally. And that also enables us to have multiple teams working on specific problems. But the code base looks similar enough that if we need to bring in people across teams, everyone has a basic understanding of what they're working on. Yeah, I think the biggest tip I could give to a new user is just dive right in. With everything that the CLI offers and with everything ready to leverage Docker Compose, there's nothing you need to wait for deployments to figure out if it's going to work. And if you're, for example, experimenting with PubSub, we use Redis streams locally and then GCP in deployment. But you can even set your local development to back up against the service like GCP in your deployed environment, so you can really debug everything locally without having to wait for that deploy to figure out what's going on.